My name is Neily. I'm a poet and performer on the lands of the Kwangan people, known as Victoria, BC. I'm joining you from the beautiful Selkirk Waterway in the Gorge. I live just over there. I recently moved, and I am here quite often, reveling in new adventures, new experiences, and I want to read you this poem today, which I wrote primarily about my chronic pain condition, and thinking about accessibility and disability as we move forward into and out of this pandemic. And when we're back in live venues again, what we're thinking about in terms of accessibility and people coming into these venues and people with disabilities, what experiences they will have. One of the first times I remember being frustrated with my body was when my hands were too small to hold enough cards to play Go Fish. So Annie made me a card holder out of a margarine lid, woven with multicolored yarn. I would wish for it later as a teenager when my hands started their slight tremor. When I'm angry these days, I'm usually talking about my body. It helps to separate self from disability, even when there isn't one. When I'm asked where it hurts, and I want to say everywhere, but that would stall help further, so I pick vertebrae at random like I'm not betraying myself, disregarding the whole of my suffering like this is where it hurts the most. When I came home from school, unable to talk about my problems, Annie taught me gin rummy, a game of both luck and skill. Her win was a sneak attack. Always waiting to put her cards down until she was ready. I laid everything out in front of me. When I won, you saw it coming. When I can't feel a certain pain, I feel that it's in someone else's body. Like I passed it on, a disease that will come back to me. Borrowed time enough for a load of laundry, or a good meal maybe, but not both. And when the pain is back, some small part of me relaxes. Like here it is, the burden I'm meant to bear. I think my body was taught to be a sneak attack by the blue veins of trauma beneath my family tree. When I say, I want to break the silence, I mean, I'd like to bring my pain on stage with me and pass it the mic. Doctor says my body misinterprets stress, overreacts, turns sensation into pain, feels like another form of blame. Like saying it hurts because you care too much. My pain only ever tells me love poems. Like, I hold on to you because you're precious, and still, I would care less for a little more mobility. If disability is separate from the self, I think my body is the honest one. It hurts everywhere because I have 3 minutes and doctor has less, so we can't hold all of the truth at once. It's a deck of cards, and we have small hands. Talking about my body makes me tired, makes me weak, makes me sorry. So I weave through silence like colored yarn until it claims every inherited ache as mine. It's okay, I'm just weak today. It's okay, I'm just tired. And my pain responds softly. This is where it hurts the most. So here, amongst the chaos of the pandemic and amongst the chaos of the dead cars behind me, I offer this, which is a soft poem about a hard breakup. During the bad days, I think that my life has just been a long way of proving that love can't save anyone. During the good days, I think that's okay. It was never supposed to. Just make the number days worth living in. When I gave you my dance floor, my wordless burnt, you shimmied on my stage like there was no tape on the windows. Gleefully, I showed you to my devastation. Like, see, here is a life I am building. I was so new meeting you, still learning how to cook more than an omelet. I lived off of frozen waffles for a whole summer once. In my parents' kitchen, you showed me how to break the seal of a jar with a spoon, so even my weak wrists could open it. If this relationship were a myth, I'd have saved you from the dead by now. And though I didn't look back, you returned there anyway. If this relationship were tea, it would have steeped too long, left us bitter leaves. In your new home, Let the heartbreak fern curl in on itself, protect its delicate green. Please resist the urge to untangle the leaves. They are only supporting each other. Place it in the center of the room. If you counted all the steps I paced while making up my mind, I bet I could have walked across the country and finally met your mom. And hugging her would feel like the outro to a song that's over now. If this relationship were a candle, it would be down to the wick. If this relationship were a cave, I'd be crawling out of it. Do not overwater your heartbreak fern. Its soil will stay damp a long time. Tell it you are here, but when you exit the house, do not call it leaving. Stress how temporary your absence will be. I've imagined our love like a series of hoops I am balancing on my body. The one from my neck lies in my purse now with my new sets of keys. Because sometimes necessity looks like a 630 square foot apartment where you don't live, where I lock my own door. Sometimes necessity looks like empty boxes and unturned dirt, thinking what blooming this heartbreak must coax out of us. If this relationship were a bar, it would be last call. Just enough time to wash it all down, not enough to start a new conversation. If this relationship were in a story, it would be my favorite part. But I'm holding your gaze and walking all the way out now. Another thing that's happened a lot during the pandemic is self-reflection, reflection on the past and on identities. I've been thinking a lot about my queer identity and what that has influenced in my life, and I wrote this poem about that. Do you remember the worms we dissected in biology class? So much easier than frog, cow's eye. At best, a worm is barely alive. Do you remember trying to fit inside our own identities? The paper labels on toothpicks that never quite stuck, filching from the next desk over, trying to make the printing match. Some truths you carry with you, even if you made them up. A pride sign made out of Post-it notes can be such a flimsy thing. I was a weird kid, more so than theater, more so than nerd. This is the word that still inks itself on my forehead, trauma bonded, like the things we poke fun of ourselves for before anyone else has the chance. The first queer woman I ever knew I knew was my best friend's mother. I was 10 when she whispered like a magic spell, "My mother's a lesbian and has a girlfriend." And the baby queer inside of me knew not to take this lightly. I swore secrecy. It didn't matter that the whole schoolyard knew by the end of recess. I didn't tell anyone for months. My office has set up a betting pool on whether a pregnant coworker will have a boy or a girl. I am uncomfortable spending time speculating on the genitals of my friend's child. I write, "healthy human baby," on my guest slip with a smiley face. They will know it's me, the resident queer. I never could hide all the parts of myself I was ashamed of. I had panic attacks that looked like tantrums. I had a queer gaze that looked too much. I realized my friend Zach knew me better than anyone else when he ordered for me at a restaurant, before I even realized I was too anxious to speak. It wasn't just being seen, it was being cared for. I think I had somehow thought the one would overrule the other. I was so excited to tell Zach I was bisexual, so happy that we were in the same club, but he didn't react the way I wanted him to. Later, he apologized. Jealous, he said, of the way it seemed so easy for me, how I told him in a landslide of mass texts, how I didn't tell him to keep it a secret. I have traded trauma stories for intimacy points more times than I care to admit. But if I lived the way I wanted to, my identities would be one of the first things you'd know about me. Reveal my uncertain gender like a gift, like maybe this will help you take this, it's dangerous to go alone. And if you never find the label you're looking for, know that in the moment you were born, what was most important is that you were healthy and human and alive. In the moments when I really needed it, Zach made me feel okay about my weird, about not being able to hide myself because somebody saw it and still loved me. Somebody still loved me. Isn't that what we're always trying to do, us queers? Wouldn't you, if you could, open up your friends, point to all the parts they are most ashamed to carry, say, I still love you, I still love you, I still love you, over and over and over, until they believed you? Don't you wish they could believe you? It is still so dangerous for so many of us to be out, to see the celebration of pride and not need to swallow it. So when your friend sends you a selfie today looking for validation, hold all of that soft power in your palm and throw it gently like confetti. Say, yes, you should wear that. And yes, you look amazing. Yes, I see you. Yes, I'm still here. And if they reply with thank you, please send it along to Zach for me.